Time today for a look at a bot that's way too old to be the new hotness, but still far too young and sexy to be called a classic. Yes, indeed, won't you join me for a big hit from that particular pile of toys that I've come to know as nostalgia. So the year was 2011. Or 12. Or possibly 10, one of those. And your boy was hard at work sleeping on one of the coolest Transformers series ever, Transformers Prime, which at the time I blithely dismissed as elements of animated in the movieverse coming together to make something not quite as good as either. Which was pretty rude, actually. Look, I just wasn't ready to get too involved with it, alright? I had a lot on. Dark of the Moon was kicking off, Generations was killing it, War for Cybertron multiplayer was still a thing, plus I was working full-time, family stuff. It was a busy couple of years. Party Rock was in the house. But in the intervening almost decade, I finally caught up with Prime's entire first season. Go me. And turns out, yeah, it's alright, innit? So what do you say? Let's party like it's 2000... I want to say 13? With one of the Prime line's finest figures. Quiet in the back. It's Wheeljack. So yes, in keeping with the show's slick aesthetic and serious tone, TF Prime gave the OG Autobot Inventorbot a hardcore personality makeover that took him out of the lab and into a huff as an ice-cold lone wolf swordsman type somewhere between Drift and John Wick, along with a physical refresh in keeping with the Prime's slim and spiky style guide, resulting in one of my personal all-time favourite character reinventions.
Wheeljack? You old crusher!
Like, check it out, the figure definitely retains its identity as Wheeljack, with the belly roof body shape, the iconic techno-mummy coil face, the hood shins and back fins and lumpy, dangly, awkward arms, but it's also totally doing its own thing. Like, when this came out, I actually skipped it in favour of Generations Wheeljack, how predictable of me, which, no regrets, but several years on, that guy now looks so frumpy and dumpy, whereas this lad took it in a completely different direction that still feels so zingy and vital. I mean, it blows my mind how much this thing pulls off. Like, it primarily presents a sumptuous, slender space droid feel, so long of limb and fierce of form, but he's also got this sort of world-weary, irascible stature with his heavy shoulders and zero neck. Check out that body block. It's actually pretty pint-sized, but it's such a tightly packed and miraculously measured mess. Like, there's so much substance jammed in there, with the pseudo-windscreen and the scrunched-up white angles, and the subtle grey inner parts hinting at a kind of underlying proto-skeleton, like a real-grade Gundam, I would imagine. It's just layered up like a delicious transformery baklava, bursting with robo-flavour and jaggedy attitude. Jaggitude. Keeps it pretty tight around the back and all, like there's no major slabs of kibble or whatever, but these weird little compartments of nothing are giving me a touch of the old trypophobia. Head's got that cool stylized Prime harshness with its exaggerated angles, pointy ears and other ears. It's just far out that it's got so much personality with so few features, but man, do you remember when every figure had light piping? Just all of them? Like, Little Jacko's is pretty underwhelming, and it's extremely selective about when it does it, but at least it's there. Anyway, the arms are crazy interesting and nice and long. Almost too long. I mean, the shoulders are stone cold savage with these huge forward-facing pierce points and the wheels chilling out next to his cool folded-down biceps. But the forearms are borderline graceless. I mean, they dangle down to his friggin' shins. The hands are alright, but weird. And he's got this deadly inner elbow windscreen kibble ready to slice himself silly. The shoulders really ain't too hot for posing either. They're pretty big and unwieldy. They can really only swing forward and rotate a bit. And he's definitely missing a bit of the old, what do you call it? You know, when the elbows rotate outward. Lateral ulnar activity. On the other limb, though, the legs are basically heaven. Like, I love the chunky, sporty shin guards, the tiny, spiky kneecaps, and the ankle joints are insane. Clinging on right up the back there and pulling off a powerful toe tilt. Also, check this out. I love the way the grey continues from the hip through this inner thigh window and down the inside shin side. It just totally sells that genius Under Armour skeleton illusion. Skelly-lusion. Anyway, the colours are looking clean and mean, bringing a classical space mech white and grey vibe spiced up with some signature fiery red flair. And it's crazy how perfectly Wheeljack it feels considering how little green there is. Like, I couldn't believe this when I came back to do my review, but he's only got these two tiny green flecks on his chest and a couple of other pathetic dabs hidden around the back somewhere. How is it that those change everything? But yes, Wheeljack's robot mode's a striking, unique looking and irresistibly creative creature, rocking those twin katanas like the edgiest anime sidekick. He's one impressive ex-mechanic who's itching to invent you up an ass-kicking. transformation's such a hoot, baby. Like, the body kind of flips out and then continues flipping out, and the legs are just pure over-engineered lunacy. Now, this vehicle mode. Prime Wheeljack's vehicle mode. I gotta tell you, I struggled finding the words for this one. And that's a problem. That's my whole thing. I'm the words guy. I'm the one who does the words about the toys. But I'm just not sure it can be done. Like, how does one convey the power, the finesse, the dynamism of this little plastic piece of paradise? It's almost too much. It's astral. It's divine. It's pretty sick, bruv. I mean, just look at this thing. It's pure apex predator ripitude. Like a bullet. Like a tooth. Like an incisor. It just crackles with that prime hyper cyber energy, rocking the crispest lines, the tightest angles, and that stunning tinted wraparound windshield. Wheels are sharp and sleek like ninja stars. It just radiates nimbleness and confidence and an absolute avalanche of swagger. It's maximum strength, zero fat, righteously refined space age sports car supremacy. Love it. The only part that slightly bugs me is, annoyingly, the very front. It's just so strangely high up and empty. And it's a doubly weird one, because Wheeljack normally has the super low, super aggressive bumper, like a proper ground scraper. And I get that a bit of clearance can do you good, but like, this is all clearance. It's friggin' clearance Bodica. You can fill it up a bit with the swords for this daft walrus mode, Wheeljack, which for me doesn't fully justify it, but it is pretty funny. Sort of a similar thing around the back, like all that robo-crap's looking a smidge exposed and it's probably gonna need a bit more coverage than that 1mm license plate clip. Nice try. Honestly though, I'm so into this thing, you couldn't possibly make me not love it. It's just 1000% the real deal. Whew, let me just towel off here for a sec. What do you think? Am I doing alright so far? Like and subscribe if I'm doing alright so far. Merch links are below. Sorry, gotta do it. Love you. So, like any unambiguously good-ass figure, good old WJ picked up a few variants along the way. Such as this crystally customer, Dark Energon Wheeljack, who's exactly the same figure but laser-focused to pander to my tastes. That is to say he's blue and made of light piping. And I do definitely appreciate a translucent bot, but somehow it's not working for me. He's just not as lively as a clear blue Wheeljack sounds like it should be, you know? I mean, he does have a certain slicery vibe, as in one who slices. But the boring bronze and snoozeworthy slate grey definitely dull the effect, and it all just ends up a bit murky and moody. Plus, I'm enough of an original colours Wheeljack stan that for me, this just ain't a repaint done right. No, sir, that job could only belong to the true TF Prime Nemesis Wheeljack, Decepticon Dead End. Yes, indeed, pencils out for a masterclass in how to take an Autobot and evil it up. I mean, on paper, it's a pretty standard baddie repaint. Darker paint job, new scary head, call it Dead End. But it's done so utterly in extremis that it changes the entire soul of the figure. Cause check it out, the colours come on like a fiendish tropical fungus, all void black and toxic orange and rotten yellow. And the face is frozen in outrageous Energon-infected mania with a permanent bile green light pipe scream. He's just wild, like some desperate rage zombie trying to slaughter as many as he can with his snot sabers before the virus finishes devouring his brain. Also, the car mode looks lethal. That orange makes the wheel arches pop out like engorged venom glands. Green Decepticon insignia. Spur, and I cannot stress this enough, Loosh. And that's not even all the repaints. There was like a Wild Rider and a Chrome Dome and some others probably. But I reckon we'll round things off today with a brief shunt into Beast Hunters, which was basically an end-of-season line-wide spiky spectacular where all the Prime characters got their ugly on in what I like to call Transformers Prime the Gua years. So let's see how the hunt changed Wheeljack. Now, I'm not totally sure what we're going for here. Like, are we doing post-apocalypse Mad Max Warrior of the Wasteland? Edgy, cross-contaminated robo-reptile hybrid? Or pretentious, pseudo-religious anime Death Angel grandeur? Whatever it is, it's a lot. Now, first off, I've got to say I love the colours, okay? Like, I'm well into the extra green and the crushed blacks, and weirdly that tiny Autobot badge really sets him off, but this look, it's kind of too much. Like, I can deal with the shin scales and the golden dangle bops and the understated Serpentor helmet, love that for you. But this whole wing structure just clashes constantly with the mutated shoulder icebergs. They don't just look a mess, they actively get in each other's way. I don't hate it, but like, take one thing off, yeah? Anyway, this Wheeljack trades the blades for this massive two-handed flame lance thing. And again, I don't really know what they're going for, but it's kind of brilliant. Annoyingly, I haven't got the little ammo disc for it, but he just looks such a brute swinging it around like Vasquez. Is he the hunter? Or is he the beast? Transformation's about the same, but with loads more crap to snag on and mash into each other, so you gotta be a bit more methodical about doing it in exactly the right order. Which isn't a disaster, but it does kind of take a bite out of the fun. But at the very least, the car mode's a giggle. Just that same little sharky sports car with a bunch of naffo drapery on it. And I don't know if it improves upon or diminishes the original. I kind of love how it brought in the scuffing that nobody wanted years before Siege did. But overall, I do enjoy it in its own way. It's got like a faint whiff of Chinese carnival dragon on the go. And all these swept back trimmings do give it a tangible sense of speed. Like, I can't even look at it without hearing the word Noom. It's just Wheeljack with a ton of tack. And I kind of can't decide if it's badass or just regular ass. But there's no way you could say it ruins Prime Wheeljack, because still here. And when it's all said and done, this is, for me, the perfect example of the perfect approach to reimagining a classic character. It keeps all its classic design fingerprints, brings them bang up to date, and instills it with a whole new groove that's all its own. And while there is part of me that wants to say that this should have just been Drift, like it's got the swords and the clean red and white design, all it needs is a different head and you're basically there. But if we're gonna sit here and start changing and removing characteristics, you could conceivably turn anything into anything. Like, where does it end? Just let it be what it is. And what it is, if you'll pardon the hyperbole, is a near flawless design and just straight up one of the coolest Transformers ever. Am I wrong though? So until next time, my name's Thew, limited appeal hack, keeping it Wheeljack. Oh boy, was that timely? Have you been appropriately spooked? Anyway, that was fun. And big love this time to Tom White. Have a banana.
Be sure to subscribe for more Thew's awesome Transformers reviews. Robocentric vocabulgasm.